there and welcome back to my channel. So as promised, we are going to be reviewing the Dreamland palette by UCANBE. This little sexy ass right here. I hauled this yesterday. It was a surprise kind of, it wasn't an unboxing, it was an unpackaging, and there was like some kind of weird like slimy substance within the packaging. But anyway, we won't talk about that. Like, I still have no idea what that was. Today we're going to be dabbling with the palette. I'm going to create a look. I will do some swatches. In the interim between me filming the haul video yesterday and then today, an incident occurred with the palette. I don't deserve to have nice things in my life because I destroy them, and if I don't destroy them, the boys will destroy them. I had this on my makeup table and I was kind of leaning on the palette, and then I heard a crack and I was like, either that was my elbow cracking or it was the palette. But you know what, I'm just glad that none of the eyeshadows were affected. Who needs mirrors anyway? That's what I say. So anyway, yeah, incident occurred there. Also, just one last thing to update. So I hauled these chokers in the haul video yesterday, and I mentioned that, you know, I really like these chokers from AliExpress. They're super cheap and pretty low quality, which is what you'd expect, you know, when you pay 27p for a choker. I went to put on the diamond one today. Yeah, and it broke. So it just like literally broke. Oh, just one more thing as well to mention. I could not get over how similar the Dreamland palette looked to the Venus XL palette by Lime Crime. They look identical. I don't believe that UCANBE did not take some inspiration from the Lime Crime palette. They must have, because even the placements of the shades are very, very similar. Can you see what I mean? They're just like virtually identical. The Lime Crime one cost £50. I don't know why did I buy this for £50? The Dreamland palette is £7.31. As I'm testing this out today, I will kind of in my head be kind of noting down whether I do feel like the formula is similar to the Lime Crime palette. And then a further video that I might do is do like one eye with this palette, one eye with that palette, and, you know, use the same shades, create the same look on each eye, and just see how close I can get it. I mean, I think the palette is really, really pretty to look at. It's full of like purples, pinks, and then you've got like browns, and also like a mixture of like plummy shades that all look very similar to each other. So I am just going to get to swatching. So, oh, these feel very soft. Oh my gosh, look at these guys. Oh my gosh, they feel like so soft, so creamy. This is my favorite shade in the Lime Crime palette, and I mean, it actually looks better. These are the first 4 shadows. Oh no, they're not. I've missed this one, Mr. Nude over here. These are so soft. Like, they don't feel dry or powdery or anything. They just feel like soft and creamy. I feel like even this one, for such a light shade, seems to be there. I mean, she's arrived. She's turned up and she's living her best life on my thumb. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and I'm just gonna, because it's a bit awkward, like, how do you swatch a shadow like on your thumb? What? I'm just gonna have to swatch up. Can you see that? That's really, really good for like a nude shade. These seem more pigmented than the Lime Crime shadows. And look, they kind of stain your fingers as well, which makes me really, really excited. Because again, another issue that I had with the Lime Crime shadows is that they weren't very pigmented and they kind of disappear. Like, the more you blend them, which I know all shadows are going to lose pigment as you blend them, but like, they really lose pigment and look quite faded. Whereas like, look, I've just swatched them and I've still clearly got like a lot of colour on my fingertips. So here we have all of the swatches. I am very happy with the feel of the shadows. They really do stain as well. Look at this. This is a wet wipe, and these shadows have like so much stain power to them. Look at this. So I'm going to begin today with this nudie shade just to set my entire lid. Now that we have done that, I'm going to go in with this light pink matte shade, and I'm just going to blend that up in my crease. I'm just going to pop off the excess. I'm using a fluffy Morphe brush for this. Just going back in again and tapping. Oh my gosh, look at that, guys. For such a light shade, this actually looks like it's got a lot of pigment. You know what? I am feeling at this point, I mean, and I know I've only tried, like, I've not even tried one eyeshadow properly yet, but I feel like this could be even better than the Lime Crime palette. Look at that. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. It's light. You can barely see it, but it's so pretty. So I was trying to look in my shattered mirror. Oh, is that 7 years bad luck? Holy vaginas. Oh my gosh. I'm just applying more because I want to have quite the pink crease. So next I'm going to go in with this light brown kind of shade. It looks like it's like a warmy kind of brown, so I'm just going to be popping that underneath the pink but still in the crease. I'm going to be using this Morphe brush. It's a little bit more tapered, and it's also like the hairs are quite coarse in this brush. Oh my gosh, that's got a lot of kick off. Okay, so next I am going to go in with a bit of this kind of corally shade. Again, I'm just popping that into my crease. I'm just going in with a little bit more. Look at how vibrant it actually looks on my brush. This is such a pretty shade. Like, this is what I wanted the Lime Crime coral to be, but it just was not quite there. At this point in time, I would definitely be reaching for this palette over the Lime Crime palette. I mean, can you even believe that that's £50 and this is £7.31? I mean, really. I want to just like maybe build up a little bit of something in the crease. Believe me, I actually just want to do like a coral eye. I just want coral everywhere, but for the purposes of the video, I am going to not. So next I'm going to go in with a little bit of this kind of purple matte, get a tiny bit on the same brush, and I'm just going to get the measure of it first before I put loads of it on. Got a little bit more on there now, but can you see like how rich in colour these shadows are? Like blend that into the crease a little bit. These shadows are definitely kind of buildable, but at the same time, they are pretty pigmented. I mean, they're so much more pigmented than Focaccia, Beauty Glazed, or the UCANBE eyeshadows that I've tried in the past. These are definitely like the most pigmented of all. So again, with this purple shade, I'm actually going to pop a little bit of this purple into my inner corner as well. I'm loving this purple. I know it's not really purple, like I keep saying purple, but it's like a pinky purple. I'm really loving it. Should we go in with the, oh my gosh, I'm going to go in with the hot pink. Like, why not? This is, oh my gosh, this is what the hot pink looks like. She's a sexual being. Alright, I'm just going to pop her in the middle. I'm just using my finger as well because, like, I always prefer using my finger with shimmers. The shade is actually very similar to the matte shade that I put at either side of it, rendering all my work kind of obsolete. By the way, this shimmer is so silky and smooth, and it just looks really pretty on the eye. It's not the most metallic of finishes. Next, I'm going to go under my eye with a little bit of the pink. Oh my gosh, I feel like this is getting out of control now. I've gone in with a little bit more of a muted purple shade, and I'm just going to put that like in the middle part of the under my eye. It's like a very girly, grungy palette. It's not like grungy as in it's full of like cool toned colours. Grungy but in a very girly way, which I'm loving right now. I do feel like we need a little something. So I am going to go in with this deep, like everything's, I'm describing everything as purple, but I know everything is not purple. But I'm going to go in with this. It is purple. It's kind of like a purpley brown actually. Who knows? But anyway, I'm going in with this one. Look at that, guys. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm just going to put this on the outer vagina. Have you noticed as well, I've not felt the need to use any Fix Plus, you know, on the shimmer, which is such a rare thing for me. You know how much I love using Fix Plus with my shimmers, but I've just not felt like I've needed to today, because a lot of the shades in this palette are very, very similar to each other. It's actually really useful because you can really like, you know, like build up a look. Just because I want to test out how good we can get the shimmer, I'm just going to wet my finger and I'm going to dip it back in the beautiful hot pink. There it is, and I'm just going to go back in onto my lid with that. Okay, so there we go. I know it's still looking a bit messy, I know, but I promise I will sort that out. Do you know what? I'm tempted to go super duper smoky with this. Back in with the brush that I've used throughout the whole video so far. I give it a little clean using my colour wheel, i.e. Brillo pad. Brilliant, by the way. You know, if you're lazy like me, you don't have to like get any kind of washing liquid out. It's like the easiest thing. Like, look at how clean my brush is. I know it's still a bit dirty, but yellow. I mean, really. I'm going to go back in with this kind of brownie purple that I seem to love so much, and I'm just going to go right around the crease. Oh my gosh, like I think these shadows are sensational. This palette actually makes me feel excited, whereas the Venus XL, like I recently included that in a disappointing video. I recently featured the Venus XL palette in a disappointing products video. You know, honestly, it's got nothing on this whatsoever. Okay, right, so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to do the other eye, and then I'll be back to give you my final thoughts on the palette. But so far, I'm loving it. It's exceeded all my expectations. Like, I'm so happy with it so far. But okay, so this is the finished look. I went very pink. I was deep in pink, and I thought, let's put more pink on. So I put pink eyeliner on. This was the Hand Diane liquid eyeliner, which I absolutely love. And by the way, it didn't burn this time, so I definitely recommend these coloured eyeliners. And I also put a little pink heart on my face. I went for a very kind of baby pink blush, and then obviously I finished it all off with a pink lip. So I hope that you like the look. I am so happy with it. I feel like it's kind of pink, grunge, chaos. I think I could have done definitely like a neater job, and I definitely did struggle with this eye, remembering what I'd done on this eye. Ultimately, I love the look. I love the eyeshadows. This palette is definitely exceeding my expectations. I'd heard a lot of good reviews about it from you guys, and it definitely did not disappoint. I know that I keep comparing it to the Lime Crime palette, and I didn't want this video to be like a comparison, but I feel like I can't ignore the fact that these are so similar, but yet the Lime Crime one is £50, and I can categorically 100% confirm the formula is so much better in the UCANBE palette. I mean, it's so much better. I actually had fun with these eyeshadows. I feel like they were nicely pigmented, but still buildable. They weren't kind of so pigmented that they were intimidating, but on the other hand, they weren't so unpigmented that they just look faded on your eyes. You know, I'm always harping on about this when I do eyeshadow kind of reviews, but I hope that I explain that and that you can understand what I mean, because I'm not very eloquent at the best of times. Ultimately, like, I really love this palette. I would highly recommend it if you are drawn to these shadows, or if you have been wanting to buy the Venus XL by Light Crime but you don't have £50, because let's face it, not a lot of us are going to have £50 hanging around for one palette. I am kicking myself in my vagina right now for having bought this palette. I really am, because this £7.31 palette is so much better. Once again, proving that sometimes you do not need to spend a lot of money to get an incredibly fine makeup product. So I would really be excited about doing a direct side-by-side comparison with these two palettes. I already know I prefer the UCANBE one, but I just think it would be kind of fun to actually try and recreate like the same look on each eye, if that makes sense. And also like to show up this palette, let's be honest here. I mean, I could sit here all day and just rave about this palette, which I'm tempted to do, but like I'm not going to. I'm going to be wearing this palette for work tomorrow, probably the day after that, and then the day after that. I'm so happy with it. I hope that you've enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments downstairs if you've tried this palette. What did you think? I know a lot of you did like it who've tried it, so just let me know down below. Let everybody know what your thoughts are, and I will see you again in the next video.